And what's up, everybody? This is None Defense, host of this YouTube channel, and of course the co-leader of the team. Excuse me, co-leader of the team, still unboomable, along with our real leader, Miss Boom Bitch Angie, and of course our co-leaders Nick Hill and Bronsoon, as well as our main officers. That is Mr. Titan, and well, there's Hillbilly. Where's Titan? And Titan, Hillbilly, and Titan as our main officers. This is, if you watched last video, you know that this is a part of our Booming Without Borders campaign, and that's where we're going around to different task forces, and we're just showing real task forces how to improve their game, how to improve their communication, how to work together as a team. And you know, and I hope in last video I showed where we brought over a bunch of our accounts. That was myself, Angie, and Nick, where we did our attacks. I hope that you can watch that video and see that none of them were super special, none of them were super skilled, but they were all effective in their own little way, because they were all geared towards one major overall goal. So what I'd like to do over the course of this video and the next video, because then I'd like to, you know, give some tips and some hints on how all of you guys can communicate better and work together. To the leaders of this team, and of course the team that we are on today, is Mountain Dew at hashtag 20ULPGGP9GG. The co-leaders are Normandy Vance, Burst King, and Real Tree Life, and of course the big, and I'm Joe, and of course the big leader, Steve-O Cruz. I've had the opportunity to speak to a few of these guys, and they seem really solid. Like, they're really solid people, really hot, you know, the kind of guys that, you know, want to do better, you know, and want to lead and want to get everybody on the same page, but it seemed to be having difficulties putting it all together on some harder operations. So hopefully this video series will, you know, be geared towards that. And the way why am I doing this is as simple as if all the task forces improve across the board in Boom Beach, if all of them just got to where they really improved, then Supercell would honestly have no choice but to improve the task forces and make them more interesting, make them better, make them funner. And I love them. That's the only part of the Boom Beach that got me addicted in the first place. Like when I first started before task forces, it was like, you know, but then they introduced task forces. I'm like, now this is fun. This makes it interesting. So okay, so what I want to do is, on last video I showed all of our attacks where we came over and we did sour grapes. It was like 7 days ago. It's like a full week ago. Sorry it took me so long to get to this, guys. But anyway, so I showed all of our videos, or all of our attacks, and now what I'd like to do is show our attack, or excuse me, your attacks, and some of them were blended in on the bases that we attacked on. So we'll start with Moon Dancer. He was the first guy who attacked from your guys' team, from the Mountain Dew, but I'm going to show Buddy attack driven by me, just so we can understand it was the same base, understand what, you know, how we were going to set that up. So see that I finished off that laser, flared over this corner, flared right here, and then I got up here, shocked, and, you know, spent some time just keeping this stuff locked down, working on that. If I had any extra gunboat, you know, I do believe that my mission on this one was just to work all this. That's correct, okay. So that was, who was that? That was Buddy. Good old Buddy. Buddy in real life is a cat who happens to be laying in the chair across the coffee table from me. Okay, so the next attack was Moon Dancer on Gambit. Level 28, so that's kind of a low level hookah, and that's fine. Alright, what I'm hoping to see, you know, without seeing anything, just if you were my guy and I was telling you what I wanted you to do prior to going, I want to see you drop all your troops right here and make sure your Zookas go first and your heavies go second. So you'll drop Zooka, 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 heavy, 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 right? But you're putting your flags all right here. Okay, you're then going to flare to this corner or this corner. I'll take either one of them. And maybe a little reflare up here. Flare, you know, I don't know, somewhere around here would be fine. And any extra gunboat that you have, I would want you to throw it at the shock launcher. And I don't want you to shock these snipers because I want you to save all your gunboat for this shock blaster or launcher, excuse me. So let's see what happens. Okay, we'll just do it in 2-speed. Alright, he dropped his heavies correctly, he dropped his Zookas correctly, he's flared correctly. Okay, we're doing good. Reflared correctly, okay. Whoa, a nice little position flare. Who the hell is this kid? Wow. Okay, now any of you high-level guys will be like, oh, I could have destroyed much better than that. No, guys, that was a good attack. When I talk to my guys about a good low-level attack, wow. Wow, Moondancer. Keep your eye on that guy. I don't know if this is just a second account of his or what the deal there is. I don't know anything about him. All I know is that was a beautifully done attack. Thank you so much, Moondancer, for the privilege of watching that. Okay, Pi 35. I'm going to hope you're going to take a little out of Moondancer's page and drop your Zook. Okay, well, we're off to a bad start. I'll tell you why that's bad is because, I'm going to pause it, is because he's going to flare over here, right? I've seen this story so many times that, like, I don't even have to see it to know what's about to happen. He's going to flare over here. They're going to start walking. He'll probably reflare. Some of these Zookas are going to start catching these mines, and these medics are going to get tangled up trying to heal these Zookas, and the heavies are going to be over here all by themselves. That's my prediction. Let's see what happens. And it's all just because he dropped his troops wrong. Watch. Do-do-do. Oh, and he flared wrong. You should have flared to this corner or that corner. Yep. Okay. Now they're going over there. Yep. Having problems. Look at that. Oh, still stuck over there. Uh-huh. Okay. Guys, if you don't believe me that the way you drop your troop matters, watch this attack. Like, just, if he would have put his Zookas first, then his medics, then his heavies, flared here, then to here, then to here, and then did all that stuff, like, he would have been better, or, you know, up to here, just something. But it's all about getting your Zookas first, because that way they're in a nice little pocket, they're hugging the wall, they stay in a little, you know, a pocket of Zookas behind a row of heavies is what you want. A row of Zookas behind a pocket of heavies is not what you want. That's the bad. So the good is a pocket of Zookas behind a row of heavies, bad is a pocket of heavies with, or excuse me, a row of Zookas behind a pocket of heavies. It just, your heavies are there to protect the Zookas, so we got to drop them in a manner that allows them to do so. And dropping them first, I know it sounds like, oh, well, if you drop them first and they're taking the damage. Well, not if you're going to do one of those side flares, because then the Zookas are going to be way behind the heavies. I don't want to just yammer on too long about this, but dropping like that really matters. Okay, so that was Gambit. So that was the base that we were attacking, and you'll see the next attack, Nick Hill destroyed that. Burst King attacked on Assembly, but that was also one that we were attacking, so let's figure out who did. Okay, Princess. So Princess driven by me, all riflemen. Let's see what's going on here. Looks like I'm going to drop. See that corner flare. Speed things up. Probably going to flare over here. If memory serves, yeah, this is where I then drop here, shock here, fight this stuff. Yep, that's what I did. And clearing some mines. You know, decent little attack. Wasn't brilliant, wasn't great, but I got rid of these mines because I know Nick's going to take this walk. So by me clearing those mines, I'm opening things up for Nick, and by taking out some snipers here and weakening these, it's going to set him up better so he doesn't have to smoke nearly as much. But Nick is not the star of this video, the members of Mountain Dew is. So now let's check out, that was Princess's attack, so let's watch Burst King. Burst King is a co-leader of the team, so I expect something really good here. Let's see what we get. Now, spoiler alert, I've already watched this attack on the last video, and actually it was a completely wasted attack, so I don't want to dwell on it. But long story short, you, for some reason, put a lot of juice into bombing this stuff and some of this stuff and whatever. None of this mattered. None of it. This entire attack was wasted. Had you done this attack and at least bombed this stuff, you know, this stuff back here to set things up for Nick, you know, then I'm alright, well, at least you did that, but you didn't do that, so I'm sorry, Burst King. I'm not trying to be mean, but this is the definition of a wasted attack. So, there you go. There's no point in even showing it. You didn't help anybody, you didn't hurt anybody, but you didn't help anybody, and if you're not helping anybody, then it's a wasted attack. That's just, I'm sorry, that's just how I do math on operations. So, and then Nick went in and got the win. 2-2-2. Okay, so then we started low point, and Yacht attacked low point. So let's show Recruiter's attack. That was driven by myself. I had a lot of activity going on over here. This was a fun little attack. I don't usually run split attacks, but in those situations where you see it, do it. But I just dropped I committed one boat of riflemen over here just to deal with this rocket, because riflemen, once they're firing at a rocket, they'll automatically stand out of their range. So I just did that to finish that up. Then I dropped here, shocked here, and I noticed, let me slow that down. I want you to know this. Notice, we'll just watch it at regular speed. I dropped. Okay, now it's gonna get, I didn't shock fast enough, but I shocked, then I flared the shocker, okay? Then let the guys just go up and fight the shocker, and just accept that I'm going to be getting hit from all directions and just overwhelm it with numbers. And then I flared backwards to let them reposition to be out of range of these rockets so I could start fighting these boom cannons. This was not a high-level, high-skilled attack. It looked really impressive, sure, you know, but I didn't do anything really that amazing. It's just I recognized the situation and then I executed. And that's what I want to teach you guys to do. It's just to recognize the situations and then execute. I find in a lot of situations, on player bases, on operations, I find in a lot of situations that players kind of outthink themselves to a point. So that was Recruiter's attack, so I would call that a great attack. If one of you guys had done that exact same attack, I'd be giving you high fives and handshakes. So, damn it, I deserve some high fives and handshakes, right? Alright, so this was Yacht. Okay. Yeah, alright, so Yacht, I think we showed this on the last video, but Yacht dropped over here, he ate this up, he barraged over here, he kept this shot. Again, this is just good situation. I just said it. Recognition and execution. Just recognize the situation, execute. Great job, Yacht. Great attack. You know, like, I honestly don't see anything wrong with this attack. I don't remember being critical of it the last video. It was just a solid little attack. You know? Wasn't asking him to save the world. Man can't save the universe on his own, you know. So that was Yacht's attack on low point. Lord Marshall, driven by Angie, and then myself, driven by myself, went ahead and finished low point. So now we're in Black River and Mercury, and my guys are done. So every attack from here on is just all you guys. I'm going to try to get through them quickly, but I want to be thorough as well. So wish me luck with that. Red Forts, you started off Black River. Here, let me just pause. Right here, as soon as I start the operation and I open up Black River for the very first time, and the very first thing I see is this, I'm immediately asking for a low level, and I specifically, right now, I'm calling for Moon Dancer, based on what I've seen. I'm like, Moon Dancer, I need you to go up, fight this stuff, and barrage here, and barrage here. Just do it. Like, it's important. Don't shock this stuff. And then any extra gunboat you have, I'm going to ask you to put it right there. Okay? That's my first instinct. What I see overall is, as we go around and we just start fighting these things, we're going to keep bombing these rockets, and just these two. We don't need to bomb this. We don't need to bomb this. We need to bomb this one and that one, and save gunboat to shock and fight these things up here. But these things are what is going to spoil your victory. So let's see how Red Fort did. He is going in with tanks, level 6 tanks as I recall. Oh, I guess I have to hit play. Okay, well, I mean, I don't like the bomb there. Again, we need to be bombing here. You're losing tanks. Did you bomb this stuff? All right. Okay. I mean, you fought this stuff. I guess it's okay. Alright, if I have to be honest, and I am required to be on these videos, this wasn't a good attack. You know, just by doing what I just said, sending Moondancer in, like, that would have set you up so much better. You know, but any low level, just get rid of these mines and fight this stuff and throw some bombs here. You would have been set up to get back here, shock this, lock that down, get here, shock that. Oh, man. You know, and then you get it back there to those power cells, and like, oh, then you start bombing the rocket. Like, using a low to get rid of those mines, highly recommend it. So that was Black River. So let's just stick to Black River. Mr. Anderson, we were expecting you. So let's see what Mr. Anderson did. Mr. Anderson, he dropped Azukas correctly. Is he going to lose Azukas here, or is he see the spot? Looks like he lost a few, but nothing major. I don't mind, when you're a low level, I don't mind letting your troops walk over a minefield if it's going to clear it for the next guy. I'll speed this up. Mr. Anderson has several accounts, and I know this because he told me, and he sent one of them over to our team, still unboomable, so I had a chance to talk with him a little bit there, and I know he spent time watching our videos. Seems like a decent dude, but he left this team and he left our team, and we don't know where he is. So maybe he, you know, decided to take this information and go start his own task force, and if he did, I hope it works out for him. Mr. Anderson, you seemed like a pretty nice guy. That was a decent attack. Okay, so that was Black River, so let's go to Vance. Vance, you are a leader of this team, so I hope to see something good here. Pretty high level too. I want you to flare in this corner. That's important, and that's not me just being a jerk. Just trust me, like, that is a good habit to develop. It will save your life a million ways. Beautiful. This is a very unselfish attack I'm seeing. I wish you had another shock right there, but I'm sure you wished you had another shock right there too. But nice flare, they're working on it. Beautiful. That was a very unselfish attack. Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal for tanks in that situation, you know, but what is? I mean, a hookah would be really good there, you know, but you have tanks. Level 11, not bad. MC. Now, Mr. Anderson, I believe, told me that this was one of his accounts. So I don't even know if he's still on the team. You know, I don't know. But wherever, whoever, doesn't really matter. So let's see. It feels like Mr. Anderson, doesn't it? That was a very purposeful flaring of that cannon. Yeah, I would say that was Mr. Anderson. But then that flare there. See what happened? He went to flare to target the flamethrower, but instead he accidentally flared next to it. So instead of the Zookas walking up and stopping about right here, they just kept right on walking to the spot. You got to know when to target the spot, when to target the target. But I think that was just an honest mistake. So this was Normandy. Normandy! Wow. Oh, I'm so slow. I've been on this team for like 2 weeks, it feels like, and wow. Good job, Normandy. Okay, Normandy, so your attack we discussed when it happened. It was a mistake. So, but I got to show it just to illustrate that mistakes do happen. Do you see what happened, guys? Right at the beginning, let me restart that. CPU battle. Okay, shock, shock, shock. I know that's happened to so many of us. I know people, it's happened to me, it's happened to everybody I know who plays Boom Beach. You go to drop your troops and you accidentally drop all your barrage or all your artillery or all your shock or whatever it is that you have highlighted, and you're just like, you know, and it's cool on a player base or an NPC or a hammerman or terror because you can just retreat and go back in. You don't get that option on op. So, you know, you really want to kick yourself in the pants when that happens. Okie dokie. So, but in the end, he knew what he wanted to achieve, and he did his best to make it work. He just didn't have, he burned up all of his gunboat at this point. So, you know, if I have to be critical, I mean, excluding the mistake, because that was just a mistake. If I have to be critical, I'm probably not even going to send you in with Grenadiers in this situation at all. You know, but you saw it, and it, you know, I don't want to judge you without being able to see what your full plan would have been. You may have had some brilliant, awesome plan, and we'll never know because you dropped all your shock on the beach. Okay, so that was that. This is Connor Murphy going in hookah. Flare here, flare here. No, no. What the hell was that? Yeah, everything about that was just terrible. And you're still flaring that? Like, was that a joke? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but you wouldn't do that on a player base, so why? Okay. Guys, do I have to even say what... And you're level 40 and you did that? Oh, man, instant kick. Sorry. If you're on still unboomable and you do some crap like that, that's instant kick. It's nothing personal. It just... We can't tolerate that. That is no effort at all. Okay. Oh, you guys love your grenades. What are you doing? What are you doing? No, flare over here. You're about to start taking unnecessary damage. That's one grenade you lost, and you've wasted a shock because you didn't flare here. Leave that alone. Wasted a smoke. You could have just flared there. So you're going over here to eat all this stuff, alright? And you're bombing the mortars. Got to bomb the rockets. I mean, you got to it. I mean, good job, but that could have been another barrage on that mortar there, you know. So we're gonna roll this thing out. When you're just eating power cells and generating the gunboat, use the gunboat to bomb the targets that you need to bomb. No, don't hit the shock launcher. Oh no, that was a waste. All right, so you've wasted 2 barrages so far. You know, and you may say, oh, it's only 2 barrages. Yeah, but that's 2 barrages, dude. Like, that matters. Every gunboat matters. And, you know, when you waste it, oh, we hate to see wasted gunboat. I was looking away. I didn't see what you shot there. But at the end, you shot something. And it probably was the shock launcher, not the rocket. Okay, so you're level 41, so, I mean... You know, you should be good, and I guess you're okay. It just, that didn't feel like a good attack to me. I would say it was like, it's definitely better than Connor Murphy. What? Oh, that killed me. All right, real tree life. You know, I'm not a fan of medics and heavies, or medics and hookah. I don't know who started it and who's, you know, convinced the rest of them. First, you're dropping your Zookas in the wrong place. You're flaring them in the wrong place. And these aren't my opinions. These are just tried and true tricks that I've learned, you know. So I'm just trying to teach you the tricks that I've learned. But yeah, these tricks do require that you drop troops in the right spot and that you flare the corners correctly. Because, you know, it's kind of like if I taught you a cheat code, for it to work, you had to type in a certain word, right? Well, if you're all like, well, I don't want to type in that word, I'd rather type in this other word. Well, okay, that's great. You can type in that other word, but the cheat code won't work. So if you want these cheats to work, these tips and tricks that I'm giving you, you kind of have to do the things that I'm saying. And it's not because I think my ways are absolutely right. A lot of my ways were taught to me by the other people who figured out the tricks, you know? And as we go through, there are things I can tell you what I taught myself and things what I did there. Real tree life, I'm not even fighting these snipers like at all. I'm just dropping over here, flaring here, getting up here, finishing this off, using my bombs to work this stuff. Decent attack. I mean, you got rid of the snipers, but again, I'm ignoring the snipers. I don't even care about those snipers. Prince Kappa. Kappa? Kappa. Kappa. Whatever it is. Flare over here. Still. Pause. Guys. Like, any of you that watch this video, if you watch this video and you're one of the ones that dropped your Zookas correctly, okay? You know, based on my system, based on, you know, these little tips and tricks. I need you to lean on your other guys about proper troop Zuka droppage on ops. Again, player bait, there are different situations and all that stuff, but more often than not on all these operations you're going to drop your Zukas and flare a corner. Hey buddy. So just everybody, just it's important. It is important because it allows your Zukas to get to this corner more or less at the same time the heavies do. So instead of the heavies getting up here, you reflaring, and then you have the Zukas kind of walking this path. You want the Zukas walking this path, and that's why we drop the Zukas first. That's important. Didn't like that flare. You see that? Okay, see right there. But had he flared this corner right out the gate, okay, or dropped his Zukas first and then flared this corner right out the gate, when they went on this little walk, see how he has Zukas over here? His Zukas would be here, and here is a much better, safer place than there. You know, here's where you want them. If they had been just like, it matters. It's those little details that matter. And I know somebody's going to say, oh, well, you take the game too seriously. Well, man, I take everything I do seriously because I don't want to do things wrong. You know, and if I am doing something wrong, I hope somebody takes the time to let me know that I'm doing something wrong. Yep. See, they weren't in the right position. You could have used this entire wall to get your guys in position and then let them go on their assault. You have the walls, you have the space, use the space. Don't limit yourself. Alright, I'll be honest, I don't even want to watch this attack just because it's heavy tank, and heavy tank does not work. Let's prove it. Level 5, level 13. Heavy tanks does not work. Doesn't work, never worked, it won't work. I don't care if he comes in here and has a brilliant attack. It's a bad attack because it's a bad troop mech. Like, there's no reason to use it. And I know what you're saying, yeah, well, Nick at Night can use it. Yeah, Nick at Night has maxed everything, like everything, and if you think you can do that, pause. If I see one bomb go anywhere other than this rocket, you're getting kicked off my team in this situation because you've already disappointed me. Just saying, just being honest with you. It's not out of meanness, it's just, you know, when you know what you want your team to be, you have to accept that people are going to come along that don't fit into your plan, your system, the way you want things to go. And that's fine because they need to find a team that more works for them. I mean, like, dude, just think about what you could have done with either all tanks or hookah or something. Like, you really didn't accomplish that much here. Yeah, you got a boom cannon and you weaken that one. Sure, well, if I'd have went in with just a low hookah, I could have got these boom cannons, I could have got these snipers, and I could have bombed that rocket. Not to death, but I could have, you know, put some serious damage on it. So, sorry, pal. Never use heavy tank again on any team that I'm in charge of. Fortunately, I'm not in charge of this team, so, you know, the leaders can do whatever it is that they want with you. But that's my honest opinion. Ryan PD, this heavy medic, or hookah medic. You know, and there's a couple of guys that use it with some level of success on my team, but they go in, you know, and that's a Mr. and Mrs. Stewart. They go in specifically to do things that are, we set them up, you know what I mean? Like, but you see this? Those medics didn't keep those heavies alive that much longer. The best, if you want to protect your heavies, you need to just add more heavies. Like, that's the only way to protect heavies, is to add more heavies. And the guy who went heavy tank, well, I know why. He's like, oh, I use the heavies to protect my tanks. If you want to protect your tanks, you get more tanks. Like, that's how you do it. You know, the speeds are too different of the troops. There's just too many things going wrong there. It's just, they don't work together well. I'm sorry. So this is the fuzzy one. He is a high level. I don't know if he's a leader or not, but he is a high level. He has a level 3 Scorchers. And he's going Scorcher, hookah. I've seen this mix. I mean, he only lasted 1:09, so let's see. That tells me something went wrong. Okay, he's flaring up there. Let's see what his plan is. I like that he put his Zukas down first, though. We'll speed it up. I just don't understand his plan. Is he going to flare up here and try to work the back? What did you just really do that? Okay, I mean, you know, you got the win, but that was not like an impressive win. That was more of just like, okay, I'm just going to go get it. So, you know, good job. I'm not coming down on you, but you saw how wide open it was. You certainly don't deserve much credit. Not with having level 19, level 18, and level 3 Scorchers. Yeah, you don't deserve a lot of credit there, Fuzzy. You know, but you did your part. Good job. So that was on Black River, and I know this video has gotten crazy long. Fortunately, there's only a few more attacks to go. So let's look at Captain C. Yes, I'll plug in soon. So let's look at Captain C on Mercury. This is Tankadeer, level 4, level 1. This isn't going to go well. I know a lot of people, yeah, we're already off to a bad start. I know a lot of people try to attack operations with the same troop and the same style that they attack player bases. It's not a good plan. You know, it's just not, because a player base is a player base, and then see, you're just losing grenades just right out the gate. But you're losing, what am I trying to say here? You can't attack operations the same way you attack player bases, because they're not put together that way. You know, you gotta think bigger than that. You have to think, you know, more, you know, big picture. I mean, you fought this stuff, so good job there. That was, let's see. So that's just that. Okay. I mean, it's all right. Like, I'm not gonna just, you know, yammer on too much. It's just, it's not highly effective. It's kind of like you're just doing okay. You know, and I guess if you have enough okay attacks, but no, I'm not gonna call that good. I can't call that good, because you didn't do anything that impressive. You didn't do anything really that interesting or productive. You just kind of did whatever. All right, feed up level 40. Okay, he's going hookah. Now I suspect that that this guy's going to have a shot, because I love the fact he's dropping his Zukas. Good flare. I want a flare there, but I'll take there as well. Unless my eyes are wrong, unless my guess is wrong, I think he's about to flare up here and go work on these cells. Please don't. Please don't do that. Don't do that flare. Okay, we're looking good. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and finish that off. If he's going to get a good attack from me, he's now going to let his guys walk forward, and there he goes. Yep. Alright, well, now let's speed it up. So now it all comes down to, if you're going to eat cells, if you're eating cells on a team I'm in charge of, then you need to be using those cells for gunboat. So let's see what he's doing. Okay, a little reflare. Okay, I like it. Continuing to bomb the rocket. He recognizes that that's going to be an issue. Now, I would have loved to have just seen him walk right up and fight these mortars, because I know that these mortars can be tricky later, but the strategy that he elected was certainly just as good as the strategy that I would have suggested. So that was, you know, there are many ways to be effective, but when it's ineffective, it's just ineffective all the way around. Heavy tank, ineffective. Tankadeer in operation, ineffective. Okay, dropping the Zukas. Flare the corner. Speed it up. And again, remember, guys, when I, am watching your attacks and I'm, sitting there saying the things that I'm saying, it's not with mean spirit, not even the least. And you're never hearing me say, like, oh, I'm just so much better than you. I'm certainly more experienced than you, and the fact that I have, like, what? Well, I mean, at the most, I think I had 26 accounts. That was when I had the most, and, we gave several of them away. I like what Deerslayer did here. He positioned himself up here, went ahead and got the opens. He found the sweet spot for the next guy. So now the question is, did the next guy take advantage of the sweet spot? Okay. The fact that, hey buddy, yes, I see you. You're so sweet. He's your sweet kitty. The fact that he just found a sweet spot and this many people had to attack before it went down, something is terribly wrong. Starting with this. Boss, you are not allowed to run tanks until you have at least 2 tanks on your boat. So when you get level 12 landing craft, then we can talk. And even then, for when you're opping at the level of still unboomable, then you gotta have at least level 15 tanks before we even let you put them on the field, unless we're just doing training goof off. So what happened here? Yep. So you went ahead and just lost all your tanks there. Essentially a wasted attack. You could have just loaded all Zookas there and you'd got the win. Recognize, execute. There was no recognition in that attack. There was no execution. Snake Eater, like, what are you doing? Okay, like, how did he not win? With his little midget tanks. They're great for player bases. I love tanks for player bases. I prefer tanks for player bases. They're the best for player bases. They aren't good in operation unless they're like crazy high level. So please don't when you're doing these kind of attacks, you're wasting your team's time, man. And if you're wasting your team's time, that means you're wasting your time. That flare was silly. Like an all Zooka, you win. So that's 2 people who could have easily won just by loading up some Zookas, man. Low level Zookas, and you'd have been fine. And then Steve O'Cruz, he gets the credit for putting this thing away, but he doesn't really, because it was clearly so open. But let's go ahead and watch it anyway. I don't like how you drop your Zookas. I want your Zookas right there. It matters. You see all that smoke you just had to waste to protect your Zookas? Let's watch that again. This is important. And again, I know people were like, oh, he's such a jerk. He just wants people to do it his way. No, I want you to keep your troops alive to complete the mission. And that's why I want your Zookas here, pause, and then flare here. What you did is with your, dropping a here and flare here, you then had to waste smoke to keep them alive. My way only cost 2 gunboat. You just spent, let's see, what's a smoke cost? Is that 2, then 3? So you spent 5 smoke and a flare. So yeah, I don't need smoke to drop my way. Zookas, heavies, flare, then do it. Then do the rest. Then flare up here, whatever you got to do. It matters. It really matters. Oh, and you wasted a shock there. Like, I wouldn't have had to spend an ounce of gunboat other than this original couple of flares if you just drop my way. And it's not because I'm the best and all that, because that's not it, like, even at all. It's just the little tricks that I'm teaching. These are important tricks, but if you don't follow the tricks, you'll never get the benefit of the trick, and then you'll just be mad at non-defense and say, well, it works for non-defense, but it doesn't work for me. Well, no, you haven't tried it the way non-defense does. If you're dropping Zookas before the heavies, and then flaring the corners, and you're doing everything that I'm doing, and then it's not working for you, all right, maybe we can talk. But you saw what Moon Dancer did on his attack. Like, that was perfect. Like, and he's just a little crappy low level. So don't tell me that you just need to be stronger. No, you need to be better. Okay? That's how you get better. Look at Grublett. Does Grublett need to be stronger to improve? No. Grublett needs to just be better. And that's what Grublett is. 289 victory points. Look at all these defenses. I'm constantly, working bases and doing my best. Now, I'm not, I'll never see him in the 600 range, but you see my point. What I'm here to do is not to be snarky, not to be rude, not to be mean, just to be honest, tell you how to improve, and just talk purely skill. Everybody on my team still unboomables know that strength does not impress me at all. There's no point in being impressed by strength. It's like pushing over a 10-year-old kid. Okay, good job, you can push over a 10-year-old kid. But when you're good, Moon Dancer, I like this Moon Dancer kid. I'm going to talk to them later, hopefully. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. So members of Mountain Dew, please, I hope you're not all, upset. Hope I didn't say anything terribly terrible. But if you are a player that is looking to be a part of a team that is just kind of right in that middle phase, right where they're just getting ready to start taking off, and now they've had access to some good information and they're about to start really doing better, then this would be a great time to jump in and be a part of hashtag 20ULP9GG. I've had an opportunity to talk to a few of them, and they seem like really nice people. I want to thank all of you so much for watching. Please remember that we are still unboomable, and as always, please be safe.